Martin, thank you for joining Equities.com here at the NEBA conference.
Thank
Tell
you.
us about the Heads Up Checkup. You're the founder and CEO. I would love to learn what's it all about.
We are a mental health platform that really takes the need for mental health checking to a place that's never gone before. So far, when people think about mental health, it's a difficult subject. People don't often talk about it. And unfortunately, what the research shows, it's almost 8 years between someone experiencing some type of mental health symptoms and actually receiving treatment. And so, what we've now created is a platform, and primarily our focus is on a software that allows someone to basically have a conversation, and in that conversation is able to go through a process within about 8 minutes, identifying if there's a mental health issue that can be addressed. And we do this both for individuals, but we also focus on large groups like schools and businesses.
It sounds fascinating. You're a physician.
I'm a neuropsychologist, yes.
So tell me about how this concept
Mhm.
came to mind. Are you the only platform of
Right
this
now,
kind?
right now we are unique into this space, but how it started was about 4 years ago. The American Academy of Pediatrics, Orange County group here in Southern California, was able to ask me to speak to the physicians group, a few hundred physicians, and they said, "Give us currently the kind of state of affairs for pediatric assessment." My background as a professor at USC. And so, in that process of doing that research, I found, wow, there's a real need for physicians and for parents, for schools to really identify efficiently what's going on in the mental health. But right now, the methods that are being used are so archaic that they're not getting that information when they need to. And we just believe there's a great opportunity to try to make a difference in really facilitating with the tools so that people can quickly understand if someone's experiencing a mental health issue, and then being able to, even through telemedicine, provide that service immediately.
It sounds fascinating, and mental health is obviously such an important topic, and
Mhm.
it continues to get a lot more awareness. How have you been balancing your background as an entrepreneur and CEO, as a physician, as a professor? Are you still involved, and is it all interrelated?
Yeah, and I still have a practice. In fact, I fly out late this evening because I have patients in the morning to see. And I feel that that's really important for me to stay in touch and to keep that. But the passion for providing mental health on a larger basis is so great because, unfortunately, every single day now we hear in the news, maybe even you heard just yesterday, our heart breaks to think the Sandy Hook father, who himself was a doctor, took his own life. And it just talks about that so many people suffer in silence. And really, what the purpose of this platform is to really facilitate the opportunity for people to be able to, first for themselves, to kind of assess what's going on in their mental health. And if they're ready and comfortable, to share that information with a professional who then gets a professional version of the result and is able to immediately support them. So, in regards to balance, the need is tremendous. That's the reason why providing an app really gives an opportunity for us to do something about this.
Well, congratulations, because
Thank
it's
you.
incredibly important, and I think the work that you're doing is fascinating.
Thank you.
Um, is it a global
It is
problem,
a global
and
problem. And in
have you
fact,
any statistics that you
yeah.
could speak
And
to?
well, what we know is mental health affects approximately 1 in 5 individuals. So you think of a typical room of students of 30, that means 6 students are going to have a mental health issue. Or you think of businesses. Businesses just this last year, they did some statistics and they showed that about $228 billion per year is lost because of mental health related lack of productivity in employees. So we feel like the need to address mental health is so significant. The World Health Organization with Harvard University came out recently about the global impact of mental health, and they were able to show that right now the impact of mental health basically accounts for 15% of all the disease related health issues in the United States, which is now actually more than all of the cancers combined. So we think mental health is something that needs to be addressed. There needs to be better tools in doing that. And we hope that what we're doing is just part of the solution.
You clearly are a visionary in this space. I'm curious about your personal journey. What motivated you to study in this field and then take it to this next phase of your career?
Yeah, as a doctor, I see patients all the time who unfortunately have had years of untreated mental health. And when you talk to that individual, it doesn't just affect the individual, it affects the family and it affects the extended family. And when you see the amount of pain that people go through, you just kind of wish, isn't there something we can do? Isn't there a way to be more proactive than reactive? Isn't there a way to identify kids early if they have mental health issues? I like to say that kids are like wet cement. If you can kind of intervene early, you have that ability to kind of change that trajectory. And now the recent research is called Adverse Childhood Experiences, or ACEs. And ACEs stands for that we now know that if you can identify that an individual has experienced significant childhood issues at a young age, that those issues will begin to influence the trajectory of that person's life and even influence the longevity of that person's life. So coming from myself with somewhat of a broken family, not having a father, and then also as a doctor, seeing and working with people on an ongoing basis, you just want to do something more. So we believe that Heads Up Checkup is an opportunity to identify early kids and adults who may be in crisis, and then facilitate the opportunity to get them treatment and to change that 8-year period that's currently going on with what we like to say, it's 8 minutes to start the process. And that's how long it takes to do a mental health screening, approximately 8 minutes.
Well, I commend you because your journey seems fascinating, and innovation seems to be at the core
Mm-hmm.
of really what you're offering. And by the way, I love the name
Thank
Heads
you.
Up Checkup.
Thank you.
What's next? Are you looking to grow into
We
new
are,
markets and globally?
and we are looking to raise capital. And the reason for that is an important part of what we do is scientific validation. We have different communities that we work with. We work with the medical community, we work with the educational community, and we work with the business community. And we really see that this is an opportunity for us to use the leadership of the business community to really facilitate investment so we have scientific validation, investment so that we can provide solutions and be able to allow this solution to be something that's available nationally and maybe even internationally. And we really feel it's an opportunity for us to work together because the need of mental health is so great that no longer can we make this something where only certain groups get to do it or it's only affordable for certain people. We believe that bringing mental health solutions specifically through us screening really provides an opportunity to start that process of really finding a long-term solution.
Sounds fantastic. And finally, I'd love to just get a sense of some of the biggest misconceptions. I know you have a big background in pediatrics,
Mhm.
and I know oftentimes with children in particular, it's hard when they go to school and there's other pressures at the
Tremendous.
elementary level. Could you speak to some of the biggest misconceptions, both for children and then for adults?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest misconceptions is that when you have a mental health problem, that it will just get better within time. Everyone experiences it, just give them time, they can work through it. And what we actually find out, but that's not the case. You don't just kind of work through it in isolation. You need to have literally a team facilitating it. And so one of the misconceptions is things will just get better with just time, and we feel like that's not correct. Second misconception is that the need is so great that if you begin to screen people, you'll have too much need and you'll be overwhelmed, and therefore you'll inundate people, and that won't be a good thing. And I understand the reality is there's so much untapped mental health issues, but we really feel like there is people who are looking for opportunities to make a difference. And because of the efficiencies of scale that's now available through our screening platform, we really believe that that initial difficulty of people sharing and people being able to get honest feedback, by having an efficiency of scale, we really feel like we can facilitate the process. And then finally is mental health isn't really just an individual thing, it's really a family thing and probably a community thing. Because when someone is experiencing a mental health issue, it again affects the whole family. I like to say it's not misery loves company, but misery loves miserable company. And when that individual is miserable, he or she is also invested in making other people miserable too. So we feel like the opportunity for us as we identify it is to really see this as a window of opportunity to support the individual, but also to support the family. So we think it's just a great opportunity, and we're glad that we're here at this conference, and we look forward to hopefully investors partnering with us to really make a difference in not only earning money, but also in saving lives.
Absolutely. It's a journey, and it
Hmm.
definitely seems like an untapped market within the medical
Hmm.
industry. And you seem like a modern Renaissance man. And so I commend
A
you
work
for
in
all your
progress. Thank
talents.
you.
And any hobbies that you do you ever have time
I
with everything you
well,
have going on?
staying in shape, do a lot of CrossFit, try to work out, try to do some triathlons. I think it's important for me that I don't just talk about mental health, but I try to experience it. But that's a journey too. And
Absolutely.
but feel very blessed to have the opportunity to hopefully be in this space.
Oh, it's all about the balance and
It really
having a
is.
healthy lifestyle. So, congratulations. I wish
Thank
you
you.
continued
Thank
success
you very
and
much.
tremendous luck. Thank you for
Thank you.
being
It's
here.
nice.